Well, speaking of Derek Carr's extension, Josh McDaniels spoke on that as well at the Combine. Also wishy-washy, but here, I'll let you listen to it and then we'll talk about it.
I've met and spoken to Derek a number of times now, just trying to begin our relationship. I think it's really an important one. The head coach, the play caller, the quarterback, getting to know one another as people, kind of how we think, how we work. The football part of that will come later, which I think is also an important part. We're aware of where things are, and again, as I said when I was introduced, I'm really looking forward to working with him. He's won a lot of games. I feel good about what we can do with Derek as our quarterback.
First takeaway, and he said this in multiple interviews, multiple pressers. Every time he's asked about Derek Carr, he's just talked about like, yeah, he's a great guy. I love talking to him, and we'll eventually get to football. It's like, you've been head coach for a month now, and you haven't talked any 1X or 1-0 with Derek Carr. It's like,
I don't know if they can yet until the league seasons, the league year starts, right?
You can talk. You can't coach him, but you can talk on the phone, right?
I think he's playing the game.
Yeah,
I think he's playing the game. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Overhyping. It's like, oh yeah, he's such a man of faith. That's what I really want to talk about.
I think he's playing the game because he technically can't coach him until the league year starts.
Tell me about your relationship with God. I don't really care about how you want to throw a fade route. It's more important to me. Tell me about your kids. You got any pictures of your kids?
The opening scene in Friday. Are you prepared for Jesus' return? Because if you're not,
what's up?
Good morning. Are you prepared for Jehovah's return? Because if you're not, I have a pamphlet.
The second part about that is he talks about how excited he is, and again, when you're in negotiations with literally $100 million on the line, you don't give stuff up. You don't say, he's our guy no matter what. I can't wait to play with him. Oh, my. You don't do that. And you don't bury him to go the other way because you got to work with him, right? You can't say like, well, if he plays hardball, we'll move on. We have no problem getting somebody else. You can't say that either because you got to work with the guy every day. So in the public, you've got to kind of come out with just generic coach speak. But I will say that every single time he's discussed him, it's been overall really, really positive.
Yeah, it is lying season, by the way. Mm-hmm. The off season is lying season, so I am very intrigued by his coach speak. Is very nice. Like he'll give it to you straight sometimes, but he'll kind of like be a little coy at others. I mean, he's like a burlesque man. He'll give you a little something, and he'll take it away. He's
got tassels on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I think of his like he'll break his coach speak if you're direct, right? And sometimes it's hard to do that in a press conference environment. Like I've been on that side of a presser, and it's when you've got a microphone and the media guy's like giving you a mic for 1 second, and you're just quickly trying to go through it, and the guy's 20 feet away. It's harder to be direct with guys. But when you're at the desk, like he was with NFL Network, you can be like, is he going to be the starter? You can get more direct answers, right?
Yeah.
And so
tell us about Monica Lewinsky.
Right? I did not have sexual relations with that. Remember that thumb was like a thing for a while.
Dude, that was a thing.
That was a thing. It's like I really, really am serious, but you all know I'm lying.
It's like you have to get that forward eye at him, like
Yeah. So like with again with that comment from Josh McDaniels, when I think of like what McDaniels can do here on his end, mostly Dave Ziegler, right? Because he's the GM, and obviously Mark Davis is going to have to sign that check. So there's going to be multiple people involved with this conversation, clearly. It definitely seems like it just feels to me like a negotiation that's going to go smoothly. Every negotiation with stakes that high, there's going to be some tension. There's, you're going to butt heads naturally, right?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, like you're going to butt some heads. But I don't see anything going on like what's going on in like Arizona.
Hell no.
I don't see
too many feelings. They got too many feelings involved.
Yeah, like Seattle, Green Bay. You see all these quarterbacks just like making stinks about it. Like the way McDaniels talks about him, the way we've heard Davis talk about him. And then here's Derek Carr on that whole situation. Carr talked to the Las Vegas Review Journal, and he's talking about Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler. Derek Carr said, they've been super awesome. They've been great. I'm just looking forward to getting to know them. We're doing the whole business relationship thing, but hopefully we can get our families together, start getting to know each other, and start building that unity that we had last year. So this sounds like an entire squad of guys that are committed to making this family part work. And honestly, that's how it should be, right? Like Josh McDaniels, he has to think of salary cap. He has to think of pay. Like, even though he's not GM, it has to be in the back of his mind. But you don't want your quarterback thinking about that. Let his agent deal with it. Let his agent deal with it. Let the suits deal with it. Let the lawyers deal with it. It's awesome how like Derek Carr is just like, no, I want to get to know him, know how he thinks, know how he works, build a relationship, and let's win. And then we'll let the guys with ties handle all that money stuff.
Yeah, they'll come up to you with the numbers and be like, hey, this is what we decided for you. What do you think? What's Derek Carr going to say? No, I want, like 10 million more. Like, no, he's gonna be all right, cool. That's what you guys agreed upon, and you think it's fair. You're getting a chunk of this too. So if you think it's fair, yeah, let's do it. Because I mean, the conversations they've had to have had is, hey, you know what? You're the starter. You're our guy. This is what we want. This is what we have in mind for the team. And kind of like what I said before Mick Ziegler was even hired is you get a football guy in there, you get a head coach, you get them on the same page, you sit down, you look at the roster, and you evaluate where is each player right now. Where do you see them? You evaluate them moving forward. Where do you see them in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? Where do you see the team moving forward? Where do you see your game plan, your offense? Where do you see your defense? How do you want a game plan moving forward? And you have that conversation with Carr. Hey, this is what we see. This is what we want to do with you. This is what we see with the pieces that we have. This is what we want to add. What do you think? And have that conversation. And that's the whole business conversation that they probably had, talking about kind of like that whole penthouse view of everything. And then once they can talk about more things and, start talking about specific guys, I'm sure they'll ask questions about different players and what they like. Because, I mean, when you're looking to hire someone, when you're looking to draft somebody, it's always like, okay, this is what we're looking for in certain players. This is the kind of model we're looking for in a certain player that we want to draft. This is the kind of character we like. This is the kind of person we like. This is their practice habits and all this other stuff, right? So which one of these players fit into what we want, and then we go from there. But that's the little granular level. But yeah, they've had those conversations already.
One of the good things, and I've been said on the show multiple times, like I'm sick of the Raiders being run purely as a ma and pa shop. Where
it's not that way anymore. It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, like it's like there are benefits to it, but it shouldn't be overwhelmingly like every single guy in the front office was, an intern at one point. Like bring in a Fortune 5 CEO to be your CFO or something like that, right? The benefits of having like pure football guys is they understand how important it is to have like a team unity and feeling, right? Like Josh McDaniels, son of a football coach, right? Derek Carr, pure football guy. Like Ziegler, pure football guy. Like these are guys that understand like what got us to the playoffs last season. We weren't more talented. We weren't better coached. We just had team unity. Like we were all
played together.
We were all rowing the boat in unison. And that's how important it is. And when you start off a season with like, if this were Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or like other quarterbacks, like this could be an ugly part of our preseason. Like we're just talking about like, Derek Carr deleted all his Raiders stuff on his Instagram and his agent sent out a letter to everybody. Like that could easily be a part of our preseason. But because everyone involved are football guys and they understand like, look, that will be taken care of, but it is priority number one for us to be a cohesive unit. We're seeing that right now. Like this instance could be so ugly if it were other GMs, other coaches, other quarterbacks, but because of this crew, it's like, nope, it's smooth. We'll figure it out. Let's just worry about winning football and being a team.
Yeah, just because you have a little bit more kind of a corporate experience doesn't mean you can't have a mom and pop feel.
Yeah.
You can still have those one-on-one relationships. Now you can't have them with every single person, but the more important people on your squad, yeah, you can have those relationships still.